Hi, I'm Mark Jenkins, author of the book Analog Synthesizers, and today we're looking at Roland's new JDXi. It's a compact digital synthesizer with 3 octaves of MIDI keys, MIDI in and out, and USB. And I've seen a lot of demos of this on YouTube, but they haven't given me much idea of what it's like internally as a synthesizer. So let's have a look at some of the sounds. In the manner of a lot of the Korg keyboards lately, they're organised by category. Let's start by looking at the keyboard sounds and see if it's got a good piano. Well, there you are. There's a nice acoustic piano sound, and it's got electric ground and FM and other electric piano type sounds. A lot of clavinets as well. On things like organs it's a little bit weak. This is a 70s Farfisa type sound. But there's not much in the way of a good Hammond sound. There's this fairly synthetic house organ. Now to any of these sounds you can quickly add some effects. Let's put a bit of delay and reverb on. And a bit of phasing. So that's a quick way to adjust your patch. With effects, we'll leave the effects off most of the time. And going on to the next bank, which is basses. Obviously this excels at bass with a lot of imitations of the old Roland analog synthesizer sounds. Things like the MC202 and the TB303. So plenty there in the way of basses, Juno 106 type sounds as well. Let's go on to the leads. Again, you'd expect quite a lot of good cutting lead lines. This is called Super Saw. And there's plenty of that kind of thing for techno and ambient music. Again, let's put a bit of effects on this one. So plenty of good lead line stuff. Is it good for pads? Well, here's JP8 strings. Nice smooth string sounds. There's lots of that kind of thing. When you start looking for more abstract pads, you have this. When you compare to the kind of thing that you'd have on Korg synthesizers like the MicroStation, they're a little bit one-dimensional. They're quite powerful sounds, but not too much going on. We look at sounds like analog brass. Again, plenty along those lines, including imitations of the Juno. Sequencer type sounds tend to be fairly short, stabby, analog type textures. Plenty of that kind of thing as well. Effects and others, well, there's some modulated analog sounds. Plenty of that kind of thing. And of course, if you want to make this type of sound a little bit more complex, you've got much deeper editing facilities within the full menu shown on the LCD display. Here's some voices. Synthesized voices though, not too human. Some imitations of the VP330 vocoder. But we'll have a look at more to do with voices in a moment, as there's a complete vocoder section on the JDXi. So that gives you a look at the basic sounds. There are two digital synthesizer parts playing these sounds, and there's also an analog synth part with a simple set of controls, oscillator, waveform and sub-oscillator, and filter, cutoff and resonance, and that gives you this kind of thing. So a simple analog synthesizer which gives you some flexibility on sounds. The envelope is a bit limited as it's a single knob, starting with sounds with immediate attack and a quick decay, like this, and with sustained sounds in the middle, and with slow attack and slow decay sounds at the end. This isn't quite as flexible as having a full 4-stage envelope, but it does let you do the basics and change your sound quickly. Of course, you're not limited to the 3 octaves of MIDI keys. You've got octave switches up and down. Now there's a nice arpeggiator on the JDXi, and that's one of the more important facilities. So good for your techno and Berlin school type music. You'll notice the delay keeps in time as you change the tempo of the arpeggiator. Now the JDXi has a much more complex sequencer than this. As we mentioned, it can play the 2 digital synth parts, a percussion part and the analog synth part simultaneously. Let's have a look at the kind of thing that's built into the sequencer. So you have a lot of step time editing over these sequencer parts, and of course you can sync up by MIDI or USB to your computer or other sequencers or drum machines that are clocked in time. Now we've been looking at the individual sounds on the JDXi, but of course these can all be organised by patch or pattern. So here's pattern 1, which sets up a particular sound for you on the two digital parts, the percussion part, and on the analog synth part. And that setup will play this particular sequence patch. When we go to the next setup, we get a completely different patch, of course. Finally, let's have a look at the vocoder. The JDXi comes complete with a plug-in XLR gooseneck mic and the set of vocoder patches is at the top here. Let's give vocal ensemble a go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and vocal fifth. 1, 2, 1, 2, and another simulation of the VP330 vocoder. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can do a lot with the vocoder. There's also a line level or guitar input on the back panel to use the JDXi's filter and effects on external sounds. So a nice compact keyboard. Unfortunately, no battery power option. So that's the Roland JDXi. It's a powerful, compact synthesizer. It does a lot in the way of techno, dance and ambient sounds and percussion patterns. On big multi-layered pads, it's not so powerful because although you have two digital synth parts, you can't add them together in layers and play them simultaneously, although you can play them using the sequencer. A powerful flexible arpeggiator and a vocoder, usual pitch bend and mod wheels. So quite a good performance keyboard, handy on stage, handy in the small studio, and it's not too expensive. So that's the end of our look at the Roland JDXi. Hope you found it useful.